April is also Alcohol Awareness Month, and it's a time that shines a light on alcohol use and also misuse.
According to a 2022 survey by the American Addiction Centers, more than 46 million Americans ages 12 and older say they've had a substance abuse disorder. So dependencies on alcohol can not only have a harsh impact on your life, but also your body as well. And joining us now with more on the significant physical and mental impacts are two experts with Scripps Research, Dr. Marisa Roberto and Dr. Bryan Cruz. Thank you so much for joining us here in the Fox 5 studios.
Thanks for having us.
Let's talk a little bit more specifically about your research. Tell us a little bit about what you're focusing on.
Okay. Sure. My research goal at Scripps Research is really understanding how the brain and neurochemical in the brain change with excessive alcohol consumption. Because alcohol use disorder is a mental disorder, it's a neurodegenerative disorder. And to understand how we become addicted on alcohol is important so we can target the specific system and brain region and provide medication to treat it.
Sure, a lot of people may have a traumatic experience, and that could definitely affect their alcohol use disorder. You want to talk about that for a second?
It's like self-medicating, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. So one of the reasons why individuals with traumatic experiences drink alcohol is to cope, right? And the idea is that they want to blur the negative traumatic experiences that they might have encountered. And so in our lab, we noticed that traumatic experience leads to heavy alcohol drinking. A lot of that has to do, stress seems to be a major driver of alcohol drinking. And in the study that we recently published, our idea was that we were trying to identify a stress molecule to target and it potentially lead to some pharmacotherapy in the future.
Let's talk a little bit about genetics too. Does that have a role in who becomes addicted to certain substances, or does that even play a role?
Yes, it does. In the study that we just published, we don't talk about genetic, but definitely 40% of the genetic really predispose people to be more vulnerable to start drinking excessively and taking drug. Yeah, and the environmental part, you know, like the trauma that really Bryan was mentioning too, is part of the environmental condition, because trauma comes to in our life in different form.
You know, we have a lot of parents who watch this show who have kids, especially teenagers. So what kind of impacts does this have on teenage populations?
That's a very good question.
Very good question.
Our lab doesn't exactly focus on the younger population, but yeah, it's a very good question. I think that's something that we have to study in the future.
I mean, young minds, you know, as they're developing too, I would imagine that in some ways it would be affected, right?
No,
of course.
Indeed, it is. And during the adolescent, the brain really is still forming. A lot of the connections are still forming, and that's what we study, is really to study the brain to see how it changes. So if you consider that in the adolescent is still forming, it's more susceptible at the injury and can have really long-lasting effect in the adulthood. And that's the same thing for trauma, because childhood trauma that comes in different form, separation of the parents, abuse, or shooting at a school, you know, bullies, really affect dramatically the child, the adolescent, that then is just turned to drugs and alcohol. It's the easy one because it's very accessible to cope with this trauma memory and that experience in life.
You know, let's talk about trying to get someone help and try to get them to, you know, recover from this struggle. What's your advice here?
So our advice is to look out there, the resources, the NIH, National Institute in particular, NIAAA, that is the institute dedicated to alcohol use disorder. There is also the NIDA, that is the institute devoted to the other drug of abuse. They have amazing website where they offer a lot of potential therapeutic and actually intervention that is not only the therapeutic, because psychotherapy is very important too. And one of the problems that we have in addiction is that And that's why we want to understand how the brain changes, because it's such a complex disease that the more we understand what is hijacking the brain, the more we find druggable target. And the magic pill doesn't exist yet. There are pharmacotherapy available. Sometimes they need to be combined with the psychotherapy, but likely the awareness is being really promoted by NIH, and there are a lot of resources. And it's just to look for, because relapse, even when you stop drinking or taking a drug, relapse is just the major problem.
I would put this out to both of you. What is the best step for somebody who is actually struggling with recovery? And are you looking for people to study?
Yes, actually, we don't do that kind of study, but within Scripps, we have people that actually does perform proof of concept laboratory study, where they recruit volunteers that seek treatment and want to recover. And it's possible. The problem with addiction is that there is a stigma, really, and people don't feel comfortable even talking about. But it's not really a stigma, it's a neurodegenerative disorder. So that's why, for instance, in our lab, we want to understand what's changing in the brain so we can help the million of people that suffer of it and the family. It's just very complex.
Yeah, it's a tough one, I think, for a lot of people, especially when they can't talk about it. But there is help, and you guys are obviously making ways to find out ways to actually, hopefully, come up with a way to solve it. All right, thank you both for joining us today. If you'd like to see this interview in its entirety, just head to our website, fox5sandiego.com. Click on the Scene On tab, we'll have it there. Thank you both again for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.